Why we are using Docker? Docker is a tool which helps us in maintaining the environment of the code. Take an example. There's a team of 5 people in the industry, and those 5 people have their own system laptops. Now, one code is working in the Amit system, but somehow it is not working correctly in the Sumit system. Why does it happen? It happens due to the environment change. Environment is different in the Amit system, and environment is different in the Sumit system, but the code is same. So that's why it is not working. There can be configuration change of this laptop, or there can be configuration change in the software version. Anything can be a problem, or might be operating system is different in both the laptops. So this might create a problem and this can have a really adverse effect. So what is Docker now? Docker is a tool which make a package of the not only the code. With the code, other dependencies are also packed in that. Libraries, for example, in Python, you are using the pandas some version. That is specific version will be installed in that package. Dependencies, like what are the different softwares which we need there. Configurations, config file will be there. Runtime also, it will provide you the engine to run that code. So container, you can say the Docker provide us complete solution, complete environment where you can not only store the code, you can also store the configuration, dependency, also the engine to run the code, so that in there can be a negligible chance to break the code. Why? Because we have to just use this container in another laptop. Now, if Amit is using the Sumit code, then it will work fine because Docker contains full configuration, starting from the code to the software packages, the libraries, everything will be there installed in the Docker system. Now, let's understand what is container. Now, container is a system which contains your code plus dependencies plus your software requirements and the libraries and the version of the library which we want and the runtime. You can say it as a container also. This one is the container also. Okay. And there is another common term which we will use frequently nowadays is the image. Using the image, we will create the container. Let's take an example. Amit has deployed a new feature. He has written a new code. Okay. Now he has used some software, some specific software and the specific libraries. Now he will store it as a image. Now that image can be used by the Sumit to create a container, and that image can be used by the Anjali to create a container. Okay. But if you want to understand it, image is used to create a container. Image is a blueprint. Using a blueprint, you can create n number of containers, and those containers have the same specifications. Everything will be same. Why? Because the image is same. Now, what is a Docker file? Docker file is a instruction file to which we will create the image. Registry is, you can understand it as a folder, or you can understand it as a cupboard where you can store the different images. We have already discussed this. Image is the blueprint. In the image, we will create the n number of containers. Now comes the concept of the virtual machine. Many people can question us like why we are not using the virtual machine. Look, virtual machine is quite heavy to use because it will start an independent operating system parallel to the main system, and this can be heavy. Docker share the resources with the main operating system, and that's why it is easy to use and faster to initialize. Now, how to install the Docker? Before installing the Docker, first check these simple dependencies. Open the task manager, go to the performance. In the performance, virtualization should be enabled. If it is enabled, then only your Docker system will work. If by chance it is not enabled, then restart your system and go to the BIOS setting. Either of this will appear. Processor setting name, Intel virtualization technology, VTX, AMD, this. enabled it. Second step is install the WSL2. Open the PowerShell, Windows PowerShell as an administrator. Now you can run this command, install command WSL 2 times hyphen install. Once it is installed, you have to reboot your system, then check the version. You will get the version details here. It is currently installed. Now to download the Docker, open this link. You can have the nodes available in the GitHub. You can download the Docker from here, and if you are using normal Intel processor also, then you have to download the AMD 64 version for the Windows. And one more point to note, I am using the Jupyter Notebook only for creating the notes. It doesn't have any purpose to run the Docker. And during the installation, you have to keep the WSL2 instead of the -v. Mark it as the enabled. To check the version, to check whether the Docker has been installed correct or not, you can search here. Docker is available. Okay. Now Docker system is available. To check the version of the Docker, open the command prompt and get the version. You can also create the test image. If that image is running fine, that it means a Docker is running fine. Let's copy this. You can see this message so that your installation appears to be working correctly. For notes, you can go to my GitHub, and for any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box.